Okay, welcome to Lobo Podcast. Today we have Paul Farahvar from Singles Only and Make a Mixtape with Marty DeRosa. So I've done this podcast before when I was single. I am no longer single, but we do talk about my single days that were kind of crazy. So there's hookups, diarrhea, that involved, butt stuff and ladies of the night. Anyways, his friend and Elgin, who's married, who has to buy socks for kind of a disgusting reason. So I go into my stories about the bathroom module and the tanning beds. But anyways, listen to the podcast. Check out his podcast. Check out his website. And on 5/3, May 3rd, Mezcal Monday. Thank you, everybody who came out to the first show at Zany's Chicago. We got another Mezcal Monday coming up by Alex Ortiz. So get your tickets now. You want to do a podcast, hit up James Webb. Please join, support the Patreon. Get some new episodes out now. Need your help. Give me some support. Tell a friend. All right. Give me a rating. Lobo Dan. Okay, welcome to Lobo Podcast. I'm your host, Javon Diaz. To my left is my producer for the People of Comedy Studio, James Webb. Hi, James.
Hey, buddy.
Are those cloud lifters? What are those red things you got?
Those are dynamite sticks.
Dynamite sticks.
It's like a cloud lifter. It's a preamp.
It's a preamp.
25 decibels of extra gain, baby.
Ooh, clean. Are those in our mics right now?
No, we're using board preamp right now.
We're using board preamp. Okay. And then in front of me, right? I'm going to say your name right because I've been practicing for about 20 minutes as I was driving up here. Paul Farahvar.
Paul, yeah. That's right.
Paul Farahvar. Farahvar from what? That's how many podcasts do you have?
2.
So just 2. So singles only.
Singles only, and Make Us A Mixtape with Marty DeRosa.
With Marty DeRosa, the OG of the Chicago podcast, really?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if there was like a pillar of Chicago podcast, like a Mount Rushmore, I think Marty would be on there because he had Wrestling with Depression. Probably one of the most underrated people in the world.
Marty DeRosa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have him on here, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I should have him on here. I did have one moment as an open mic comedian where he was at a mic, he was with a girl, and then I remember...
Always.
And I was just, I made, it was my, whatever trash I was doing, one joke made the girl laugh, and I was like, yeah, I made Marty's girl laugh. And it was like, one of those compliments.
I
didn't tell
if it was
people.
Sarah, yeah.
Huh?
That's
she
his
was
girlfriend.
blonde.
Sarah.
Oh, okay, I don't feel as good anymore.
I don't know how long it was, but yeah, I know Marty's one of my favorite people. He's one of the funniest comedians in Chicago, one of the hidden gems of the world.
And he's not single like you. Are you still single? You're
still
still going with
single,
the single thing?
I have to. It's kind of fun.
Is it the podcast?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. We're approaching 250 episodes. We're on like 246 or something now, and I might change it up a little bit to open it up a little more and make it open to other topics because 250 episodes is a lot.
Yeah. So do you have do you ever have guests come back on who were single and then they gave up that life?
Yeah, we've had a couple episodes where they came on. Ken Garr came on, didn't tell us, and then he was in a serious relationship for the 100th episode. Yeah. Well, now he's married, but yeah. We've had a few, but for the most part, I would say 99.9% of them they're single at the time of the podcast.
Yeah. I was single when I did it.
Yeah, and then there was one where Mike Cronin lied to us and said he was, and then we later found out that he was lying to do the podcast.
Oh, he was just desperate. Yeah. He wasn't single.
He's been banned since from all comedy.
He was desperate.
In my life, in my world, yeah.
What started this single thing for you? Where you're perpetually single forever? Is this your brand?
It was kind of funny. I just started talking about it recently because of the reader thing. But Jamie Masada at Laugh Factory was making fun of me, and I don't remember this story, but Curtis just talked about it on Facebook, and he was saying, you should do a show at the Laugh Factory where it's just singles only, and you go up and just whine about, because my set at the time was all just me being single. And he said just lean into that, and I had the show called Singles Only at Laugh Factory. Now it's called Drink Day Laugh, and the podcast was just a way to promote the show. I had never listened to a podcast. I kind of knew what they were when it started, but Jamie Masada was the one that's like, you need to do this. And then Brian Morton started the Laugh Factory channel with Curtis, and they kind of it just kind of took its own life. I did not no, was never the game plan to be a podcaster. But I love it now. Yeah,
you love it now. And the single thing, because I don't know if I may have heard you argue with Patty before. 'Cause she's married.
She's happily married. The voice of reason on the show is either Patty, Jeannie Dugan, or Maggie DiPaolo. Yeah.
Okay, Maggie. And then, are we considering things, or how's your life, the single life right now?
I'm happy. Yeah. So the purpose, what I've learned from the podcast, I try to learn to hear everyone's journeys, and it's kind of, sometimes they're in depth. We had some serious ones. I think marriage is an outdated institution. I think that we need to update it. I've been pushing for like the 7-year contract where you like renew it after 7 years, like a NFL contract. You're in your contract year, you're going to start trying harder to if you want to be re-signed.
Get the bonuses.
And if you don't, you're calling it out, then you just call it in, and then you leave, and everyone leaves. The stigma of divorce, I think, fucks with people a lot, or they're having kids, all these things. I think we can modernize marriage, and not just open marriage, but just like certain things. So the pressure of till death do you part is not real. I still believe in. No one has convinced me that marriage.
Your parents are still together, right?
They're still together.
Okay.
Yeah. 50 plus years. And now, my parents are older, and, they have health issues and whatnot. So I do see the value of having somebody when you're older to take care of you and all that shit. But, like other than that, everything else I think is like a downside.
James, how do you feel about all this single talk? You have a lady we've been with for about 10 years.
Allegedly.
I allegedly do have. Look at this guy. No, I've got a lady, and I just let people do what they do.
He doesn't get involved.
I do believe in marriage. I think it's if you're getting married, let's say for a kid or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Like all my friends who are married say, don't get married unless you or just want to have kids, and
sure.
I don't really want to have kids.
No.
I like other people's kids, but I don't. I'm selfish.
I think you should live your life then, bro.
I am. Why are you yelling at me?
Fuck yeah.
Was that a true story when you thought the chick told you she was pregnant, but it wasn't your kid? You were dating that girl.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Use Facebook.
That's an old story. Wait. Oh yeah, there was a girl that I dated. She's
a hot chick in high school, right?
Yeah. That's kind of story. I blended two people in together, but her story was the original joke didn't work as well because she ended up dumping me for a guy who had like one leg and and was like 4 foot tall and like just a successful like and it wasn't
money,
like
right? I hope.
No, I don't know, but this girl was a 10, and it's not like he lost his leg like in something noble. He was drunk and fell in on a construction site. But when I would tell that joke originally back, that's an old joke, probably 5-6 years ago, people would like turn on me because I'm shitting on the guy.
Yeah. Like
so I took that part out and made her the bad person for cheating on me. But the part, like it's basically a story. She didn't get pregnant. Somebody else did. And I combined the stories. But it's a true story.
Somebody got pregnant?
Someone got pregnant. It wasn't mine.
Okay.
But there was like a time where that I thought it was mine. And then I recently had another scare that's a new story that I kind of like blend into that, but that's a whole other.
You wear condoms and get tested?
I get tested a lot, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're like a responsible
I had a real scare this during the pandemic.
Pregnancy or
a herpes scare, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
herp.
Yeah.
So you got herpes?
No, I do not have it. I'm going to post my results because I talked about this on one of the podcasts. And if you don't listen till the end, people still think that I had it. But I had to go get tested. I mean, I'm like an expert now. They don't test you for herpes unless you ask for it.
I got to ask for it. Then.
Yeah.
Herpes.
Like you say the works, they don't include it. That's the stupidest thing in the world.
Like around the road with a hooker. No, I got to get tested.
Yeah. You're dirty as fuck. I remember you from the podcast.
Yeah. And now
you got to ask for that.
Now I'm now I'm in a relationship, and she's like, you got to get tested because I keep giving her not UTIs. I just gave her one UTI, but yeast infections. It's like because Eric Pinnell, Bustin' Bald Cut, he's the guy who got me started. He's like, look, when me and my wife first started, getting together, like she would get yeast infections a lot. She was saying, look, our genitals are just getting to know each other, and that's what's going to happen. Did you remember you get when you first started, Linda?
No.
Yeast infections? All right.
Never.
No. Okay. Are you maybe when you're a new girl? Are you?
I think what I heard is, and again, I don't know this, but that happened to someone recently with me, and that was because they hadn't had sex a lot and then they started to after not having sex for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, it is a
she
lot.
Was fucking.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe you just have a big dick.
No, I don't think it's that big.
Yeah.
Let's pull it out. No, but look, I actually do for the Patreon. Maybe I'll start at OnlyFans. But yeah, I got her I have.
I got hit up for OnlyFans. Does anyone else they're asking me to do their thing? I'm like, what are you talking?
They want you to do their OnlyFans?
Yeah, they're like, why don't you do it? I'm like, I'm a fucking old man comic. Like, who's gonna? They're like, no, there's other comics on it. I'm like, who? And they had like Eric Andre and two. I'm like, okay, they probably want to see their shit.
What would you do on your OnlyFans?
I don't know. That's what I said, and they're pushing me hard on it. I'm like, I don't get it. No one's going there for comedy.
Oh, I thought you meant for sexual
No.
stuff.
I mean, I'm assuming there's a little there's a Venn diagram where some comedians are doing both.
I feel like that's what Patreon's for, but
like the good-looking comics would do that. I think
there's no male Chicago comics. You don't have an OnlyFans, right? There's some females ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually no. We're starting an OnlyFans show, but it's not where we're showing our junk.
I could come on.
You're gonna put it on OnlyFans, James?
Yeah.
See, so there is people that do. Are you gonna? You think it's a format to follow to put comedy on?
They're now encouraging podcasters to join in. Like they're trying to be a better alternative to Patreon, I think.
Yeah, that's what they were hitting me up, and I was like, I don't get it.
Dude. Do it, man.
Do you have a TikTok?
I have TikTok, but I can't get it to.
You can't log in.
No. I can't get it to. I can't get any. Like I have friends who put like something on there, and they get like a crazy amount of views, and I've done maybe like 20, and I put some of my clips on there, and like only one.
You do the hashtags and stuff.
Yeah, I do all the hashtags. Someone explained it to me. They like when you use their stuff. If you upload like your own video, they don't like it unless it's like tight and you got to do all the weird shit to do it. I don't know. Or maybe it's just not funny.
I do the music, whatever. I don't know. One of them hit, right? The one with Stephen Haas, that's like over 100K. But the other ones are like, okay numbers, but one of them did hit. But I have been thinking about starting an OnlyFans. But it'd be sexual, though. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I don't know. I have the tattoo. No, I'm fucking on it if I'm going to do it. Come on, what am I?
I like to, I mean, I've never logged on there, but there are some like porn sites that have OnlyFans like illegally downloaded stuff. I'm like, I can see how people can get into that. It's like more.
Like we did a test shoot the other day with my ring light, and my hair looked really nice in it. I want to have a.
Do you have any like video of you having sex out there?
Yeah. Oh no, out there no. It's those videos are on my girlfriend's phone. I keep telling her to airdrop them to me, but she won't airdrop those two right now because did we get in a fight that day? I don't know, but she didn't airdrop those. We did airdrop the ones where. So I went to a show. You're doing comedy again, right? You're touring.
Yeah,
and things like that.
yeah.
I went to a Crane's Butter show. And then on Wednesday. Then afterwards, I had to go.
I'm doing that show on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Mustangs, right?
Mustangs, yeah.
So then afterwards, I was running behind. So I didn't, like I told you before, I'm staying at my girl's house. So it's harder to charge my car. I got to go to these stupid superchargers to charge versus when I would stay at my house.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went. I was low on battery. And then afterwards, I didn't have enough juice to get it to Lake Geneva. So I was like, all right, we'll go to the one in Belvedere. Went there. And then we had some drinks. And we had a good long talk. And then I was about to unplug the charger. And then she was like, plug it back in. So then we had sex in my car.
Nice.
And then there's a video. I won't say this. Allegedly, maybe because afterwards she's like, Giovanni, I was kind of buzzed. Like, I normally probably wouldn't do this. I had her, put her panties. I put her panties in her pussy. And then all the way as much as I could. I have a video of that. And I have the panties right out in my middle thing. So sometimes, I don't know if you realize, you knew from the podcast we did, it was kind of a pervert. So now,
yeah, I did know that.
So now I just, if I'm on the way to work, right? It's
if
like,
I didn't know, now I know. Yeah.
Now and I was on the way to work the other day. It's like, it's like I had to wake up early today. So it was a good little wake up call. Pull up the thing and smell the panties. So I have those in my car. I have that video. I was watching it today because I was trying to find the other. I was at work trying to get
you
a boner.
Wake up and watch it?
Huh? No, I was at work in the bathroom and I was like, all right, let me.
You're jerking off at work?
To send her a video of just jerking off, but not to come because there's still people there.
Edge it out.
Because I came in the early shift.
Sure,
yeah, usually after people leave allegedly, if you're hearing this from work, no, this has never happened. But I have the later shift, so people are gone. So then I'll finish and just come in the toilet.
I mean, what else are you supposed to do at White Castle in the morning?
But oh god, I miss White Castle. But anyway, it's been such a long time since I had it. But what I was saying was, I do need to get tested for STDs because I've never been tested. Right?
Every year I do it. Now I'm doing it more, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've never been tested. And when she found out, she's like, oh, when's the last time you been tested? And I was like, tested? And she was like, what? She was kind of taken aback. And she was like, didn't you have sex with all these prostitutes and things like that? And I was like, yeah, but I wore condoms. But still,
Yeah. I mean, if you wear condoms, you should be okay. If you wear condoms and you
With
get something,
no, but well,
right, you would know with pretty quickly if you got something like genital warts or something bad, because you'll have symptoms quicker.
are you? So right now,
I'm like an expert on this shit now.
do you have what? You're single. Do you have? Are you just single? Do you have girlfriends?
I date around.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll date people for brief intermissions of time. I was dating someone on and off during the pandemic. In the beginning, I had like a bubble where, we're like, okay, we're just gonna date, and then that ended, and then I was traveling again for shows. So then I was like, I don't want to feel guilty for doing anything bad, even though it was a pandemic. No one wasn't like fucking on the road, but. I mean, I'll go back and forth. I'll start dating people. Generally, after like 2-3 months, it ends.
Usually, so do you give them the spiel before, like your views on the contract and all that stuff?
And sometimes it works. Like sometimes I don't want to get into a relationship, but sometimes I end up really liking someone. And I'm older now, so it's like I don't really get like my dick doesn't run my life anymore. So I make better decisions. Like I'll get calls at 2 a.m. back in the day. Like they're like, I want to come over. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. Like I already ate and I'm already in bed. I jerked off 3 hours ago. It's like, what's the point? Like I don't want company right now. So those days I do like that I like that doesn't revolve. My dick doesn't control me like
your life
yours
anymore.
Does right now.
Yeah, the food thing. Oh, I remember. No, I think it's. I think I'm under control somewhat.
Yeah.
But like I remember the food thing was when I would message a girl and I would hope she would message me. This is when I was single because I wanted to eat or pick out.
Right.
Like that. Like,
there's a decision. There's a time where you do like a decision where you're like, oh, like I do a joke about it now. It's a true story where it's like. Now the same. I mean, I remember in the old days, someone would call me, be like, I want to come over, and I'd be like, yeah, it's like come pick me up. They could be in Milwaukee, and I'd be like, I'll be there in like 95 minutes, and I'd go and pick them up. I
did
in
Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, you'll do that. Anything for a good sex or whatever. But like now, it's like, like especially if they're toxic or they're gonna. It's just the sex. It's like. I always like jerk off, and then I'll be like, okay, do I still want to see this person? And 90% of the time, I don't.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Your clarity is, your decision making is so much better.
What I would try.
But then you get addicted to porn, and that's a whole nother thing. So.
Well, yeah. What I would try to do is, and I did this before, but it failed me because then my dick ignored it. I said it before on this. I think on the podcast. There's a clip, but basically I would try to stop myself. I'd make a wall. So I'd eat a bunch of food. Try to stuff myself.
Yeah,
right?
you told me about this.
Yeah. And I try to stuff myself, and it worked. But then the girl would message me, and then I'd be like, I'd go in the bathroom and throw it up, and then go out anyways or something. Especially like a reggaeton song came out. Like music fucks me up, man.
Music gets you horny. That song, you're like, oh, it reminds me of putting underwear in a pussy. I think that it's funny because I. As a comedian, I don't eat until after a show. So now, if I do meet someone, all we're doing is getting food after. And then if we end up having sex, I'm just so tired. Usually it's just the laziest sex. And they don't know because they think I'm good at what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I'm doing sex sideways. And oh, is this tantric? I'm like, no, I just had 2 tacos. I'm fucking full. But that's just how it is. I'm just a lot it's better to be older. And I know you're a horny fuck too, because not only if I didn't tell you, but you're so hairy and oily like me. Mm-hmm. You can tell we have problems. I think guys who are hairy and I'm Middle Eastern, you're
Mexican
Spanish?
American.
Mexican,
Parents
yeah.
are Mexican.
I just
right?
feel
You're Persian, right?
I'm Persian, yeah.
Yes.
So it's just your adrenaline and your, what do you call it, endorphins are just fucking popping.
Yeah, I never realized. Well, because until other people tell you.
Greeks too. They're just.
What about Armenians?
Armenians, everyone, all oily people. All us oily people. It's just all that oil we produce. Hey. Yeah, it's all Italians too. It's just all oil. You're just your dick is fucking hard all the time.
I never realized how, horny. Because people would tell me, when I was single, my friends would call me and they'd be like, or friends who were girls, which I don't talk to anymore. But that's a whole different thing. But they were like, you're a hoe.
Yeah. Your sex drive is bigger. I think when you're hairier and
I trimmed recently. Hold on.
No, like, oh yeah.
But no, but I was a few episodes. It'll grow back.
Yeah, but I can see the hair there. You're fucking hairy, dude. Yeah. I am too. I've got hair all over. Yeah, it's just, I think that's just testosterone, and that's just a higher sex level. Horny. So like when I take Propecia for my hair, and my doctor was like, the side effect is your sex drive's going to go down. I'm like, oh my God, that's a side effect? This is great. Like, I'll make better decisions. But it's not true. Sex drive still is off the walls, yeah.
That's the thing I want. When I was single, there was a point where it was like, I was getting in so much, I think I talked about your pod, I was getting in so much trouble, especially when I would make alcohol and the pursuit of women. We'll say pussy, right? Rest in peace, Pussy Power Podcast. I would say pussy, right? The word, and I was like, and when I would mix them, that's when it would be like, I'd go off the rails. And then I tried to be and I was like, I would tell myself, man, I wish, like, and I'd set all these rules, like I couldn't have sex more than once a month and things like that.
Oh, that shit doesn't work.
It was kind of working a little bit, but
I did that, and then worse shit happens.
Oh,
I'm again, like, it's fun now to look back on it, but I have a story about this where I tried not to have sex for a year. Like, I was like, I'm just not going to have sex. I'm older.
No, when this happened.
Oh, when this happened?
You don't tell me your age.
I'm already, no, it doesn't matter. But this was recently. It was like when I was probably 39, 40 years old tops. This is a true story. Avi was there. I think, Avi was there. Avi Sanchez. We were on the road. And I think what happened was I wasn't having sex. The only thing I was doing with women was like everything but. So I had like 69, everything like this. And then I got food poisoning. And it was from the 69. Because I ate the same thing every day, like whatever.
Similar
and it was
story.
from, like, I probably ate ass or whatever.
Yeah, same thing.
And I was like, fuck this. And I think Avi and I were on the road. I think we were at the Drop or something. This is years ago. And I was like, dude, you might have to go long because I don't think I'm going to be able to close the show. and I don't remember what happened, but I think I ended up having, I do remember. It was like one of my best, it was like the flu game with Jordan. I had like this great thing where I thought the whole time I was going to shit my pants, but I had a great set, and I was like, all right, that's cool. But
the same thing happened with me in Orlando. You're going to be in Orlando soon, right? Yeah.
I'm going to be in Orlando this weekend.
So I was in Orlando, right, by iDrive, one of those hotels where all the convention centers are. And then I would go there for work. And everybody from work listening, this is all alleged. I'm making it up. Now I'm lying to you. But allegedly, I was there, right? And it was me and some white chick, but she was a coworker, so I don't do that stuff. But then
don't show where you were.
I used to I used to drink, and when I get drunk, I'd go on a website called Backpage and look for prostitutes, right? And then sober, I would never do this.
I've never done that, but it's on my bucket list.
Don't ever cross that line, because once you cross it,
no, I know.
You don't go back.
So you did this in Orlando.
So I was in Orlando, but I was already, I was a pro John. John, if people have sex with hookers.
Yeah, I know.
There were tricks and Johns for the listeners. So then I was a John.
Everyone knows it's called a John.
No, some don't. Like, some people haven't been arrested before. Well, you're a lawyer, so I'm sure you have.
I think everyone knows the word John.
No, I brought it up.
Maybe like millennials don't.
They're like, John, no, maybe these people live a sheltered life,
Fair.
I think, we're over here oily and eating ass.
So just you. I didn't mean to eat ass, but maybe I did. Well, maybe I'm a millennial now.
During the 69?
Yeah.
Slipped. But look, I was there with a Puerto Rican prostitute. Hey, you were talking about Abby. This ties in. It's Orlando's full of Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rican prostitute, and I was like, hey, I remember, like, I want to eat your ass. She was like, it's going to be extra. And I was like, how much? She's like, how much you got? And I go to the furniture next to the bed. What is that called? I don't know. The
cabinet?
The little one with the lights, the little one, whatever.
Nightstand?
I don't know. Yeah, whatever, nightstand. The little nightstand next to the bed, and I grab change. It was like $13.48. Some singles, some change. I was like, I got $13.48. She's like, that's fine. All right. So then it was, I think maybe it was a principal. She's like, I just can't just not charge you something, right? Yeah. She was like, that's okay. And I remember, I was eating her ass, right? I was eating her ass, and she said something to me, and I remember, she's like, I won't say the word but she's Puerto Rican. She was like, you Chicago N-words with a double G-A are nasty. You should, because like my baby daddy. So she was implying her baby daddy's from Chicago, and he's nasty. So all the Chicago people are nasty. According to this Puerto Rican, I was eating out in Orlando. And I remember the next few days, I remember I got diarrhea, right? And I was trying to figure out what the hell I ate. Nothing different. It was normal. And then there it is. Rimming, we're reading right now. Rimming can transmit bacteria like E. coli and Shingilla virus like hepatitis A and various blah, 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 blah. But that day I went on a website and Googled it, and I had diarrhea, and it was like, I was eating ass.
You went in there knowingly. You assumed the risk by doing that. When I got it, I didn't think I did. I think I ended up doing it by accident, or maybe she just was dirty or something, and it was
No, I
It was
went.
bad.
No.
But I got food poisoning, and then after that, I'm like, fuck this, I'm gonna have sex again.
Oh, you're one
That
back.
was I was like, what's the point? I lasted like 3 months. I mean, it was like 3 months without sex, and it was
what was the
funny
purpose?
because I was like, I was like, that was when I was like, I think my dick is like running my life, and I was trying to be like, I did like I thought my numbers were too high. I don't remember. It was a whole bunch of stuff. I wanted clarity because I had stopped drinking too for a little bit, and I was like, okay, maybe this is the next step. And then I remember when that happened, I was like, fuck this shit. I don't need it. And also girls were weirded out by it too, because they'd be like, wait, you don't want to have sex? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of like, and then they thought something was wrong with me. They're like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, no, I can do everything. They're like, well, wait, do you have something? I'm like, no. I'm just,
this is about that.
Yeah, those are the things that were coming up. Then after, I remember like all those people that were like, that I didn't have sex with, I called them up. I'm like, hey, we're back.
Game on, let's fuck.
And they were like, go away, you weirdo. Like we heard you tell that 69 story.
So, but you said you have to wear condoms, right? You're oily, because I feel
do
us
now.
oily people don't wear condoms.
There was a while I didn't, but I wouldn't have
so much better, right?
Yeah, I would do it. I would only do it if I was like dating one. I wouldn't be having multiple non-protected sex people. But if I have like one partner that's like my main person, I would. There's always like one person I would have unprotected.
Do you have brothers and
sex.
sisters?
I have an older brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he have kids?
He has 3 kids.
Okay, so you're all right. So your parents at least got that.
Yeah,
They're-
he's the favorite. Yeah.
All right, they got.
He's like a neurosurgeon doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were a lawyer, right?
I was,
what was
yeah.
your pet? Lawyer. You were doing the
I was a
band?
musician, then I was a lawyer, then I went music production and like entertainment law, and then I became a comedian.
When did you get the comedy bug? How did that hit you?
10 years ago next week. It started today. That's funny you say that because I got my time hop. But it's coming up. My friend was opening for Bob Saget, and we were backstage. Chris Bader opening for him backstage, and I was acting like Chris's manager, because I was an artist manager at that time for music. He's like, he was nervous, and I think we're at the Horseshoe Casino, and then we're backstage. Bob's talking to me. I was drunk because it was the Cubs home opener, so I was like, just like open mind. And then I told him the story. I don't remember what story I told him. He's like, oh, are you doing that tonight? I'm like, oh no, I'm not, Chris. We look the same if you're racist.
Both Persians.
He probably thought I was another comedian just trying to get stage time. He's like, well, go and do that joke. I'm like, oh no, I never.
I was like, are you Master Brony? No.
Yeah. I was like, I've never done stand-up before. He's like, well, go up and do 5 minutes. I want to work on something you did. Because at the time, Bob was doing guitar stuff. So maybe it was a band story or something. And I was like, I'm not going up. And him, Bader, and I think Mike Toomey was the other comic. Were like, yeah, just go up. And they were like, trying to talk me into it. I'm like, I'm not going up. I've never done stand-up before. I've done improv. And then the next day or 2 days later, I did an open mic contest, and like I won. And I was like,
what was the contest? Was
it was Merkel's. It was an open mic in Merkel's, and then they asked me to take it over, and then I took it over with Chris Bader, 2.5 Persians.
With Amy Shanker, right?
Amy took it over when Chris left, and then it was called 1.5 Jews.
Okay.
Amy and I did it, and then we threw it to the ground. Like, at that point, we were all... The reason we did it back then when we had the open mic, it was a great open mic, by the way. It was like run, we had a competition, and then we had,
you had
judges.
Judges. I did it one time. There was
you?
a panda somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, there's a panda.
Yeah,
and we had judges, and there were always like hot guys and girls, so it's like automatically like...
They were...
People put their A game, and then eventually... And then they would vote for the winners. We'd have a contest at the end. The 3 best would have to come up, and I'd interview them, or Chris and I would interview them. They'd answer questions, and then everyone would vote. And then eventually it became a spot where clubs came to check out comics. So then it started freaking people out. I remember Sahar from Comedy Bar and Kyle came once and judged. I think Curtis came, and Emily, who was the Laugh Factory person at the time. And so it became like this huge ordeal. And then I became the host of the open mic at the Laugh Factory.
Oh, I do remember. I remember, like, and you guys would always post pictures up.
Yeah, we put so a lot of people's only pictures were at the show.
Yeah, there's a picture of me. I was fat.
Oh, really?
Maybe I'm not. I remember I was wearing this teal shirt, a regular shirt, and back when I wore hats, I had a backwards hat all the time.
Yeah, the page is still up. It's on Facebook. I think it's called 1.5 Jews now.
1.5 Jews. So before it was 2.5 Persians.
2.5
Who was the half?
There was like nobody. There was a guy, Steve Lombardius, who started with us, but then he stopped doing comedy. We just needed a name for the show because they didn't have. They're like, what do you want to call it? I'm like, and then I just thought of that.
the 2.5.
Or maybe someone else did. I don't remember.
No, because I remember
It was 10 years ago.
I was excited because it's like hey,
fun
I
mic,
had a
man.
picture up. Like, what was that page? Remember, it was a comedy. It's still up there. It's a comedy of Chicago. The House of Blues guy who runs it.
Yeah.
And I remember like
Comedy of Chicago.com.
Comedy of Chicago.com. And I remember he would always every weekend there'd be new pictures of on the scene. And I remember I'd always watch. I was like, because I'd be out at the mic. And my picture up, and I was like, oh look, the guy before me. Here's his picture. Here's mine. And I was like, oh no.
Well, I produced shows for years. Like I did produce music shows.
Rest in peace.
What happened?
Comedy Chicago's dead, bro.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
This will probably be back.
Maybe
Check the Facebook page.
Yeah, let's see.
I produced all those shows, so I took it seriously, and I was kind of like anal and stuff. So it was organized well. We only did 25 comics, so people would come in. We had, Jeff Garland came, Dion Cole, so big names came in because they hear about it. What's his name? Lawrence came. What's his name? God, after I got COVID, I lost all my brain cells. But a bunch of big names because it was a fun room. It ended up being really fun, and then we it just didn't work anymore. Because we started calling in, because at the end, all the comics that were regulars there became regulars at all the clubs. So they're like, we don't want to go here anymore. Or they didn't care. Yeah, I don't know what happened. We just kind of gave up.
Okay. Do you you were a musician, right? Would you play guitar, bass?
I play guitar, bass.
And then you were like in a super band or something?
I was in a
super cover band?
We called ourselves. Yeah, it was a bunch of other musicians in town. We called Becky's Likes Tigers. And we all played one instrument that wasn't our main instrument on the stage. But we would play like all the festivals and stuff. It was fun. It was covers, mostly covers.
Oh, okay. I want to get a guitar and play. But
I'm starting to play again because our band, my other band, my first band, Shoeshine Boy, got signed to a label. And they're starting to use our songs on TV 20 years after our album, because they want, like, licensing is huge right now. So we're on like CSI Miami and shit like that. And the money is really good. So we're like, let's just write a couple quick, because our singer, she's got a great voice, so like, we're gonna do it again.
Are you? Earlier you were showing me that comic who was DMing you. Do you get a lot of crazy comedians for legal advice?
They're not crazy, just lawyers. I always love helping. I love helping everybody, as long as like legal stuff. I don't practice anymore, so I got to be very careful. I can refer out to other lawyers, which is I love to do. I love to help people if I can, but like, people don't understand the law and they start talking about it like this. I'm like, well, wait, what happened? And then I just say, put it all in an email me, and I'll refer you to somebody. Because I'll do it. I've practiced law for over 15 years, so I can find someone that can help you, or at least, they'll say you don't have a case. But when people like ask me questions and then they're Facebooking me stuff, I'm like, dude, you got to email me, because I can't Facebook a law firm and be like, hey, this guy they're gonna be like, go get the fuck out of there, because there's a process where you have to check for conflicts and all that stuff. They've got to do everything. They got to. I don't care, because I would do everything off the cuff, which is probably why I'm not practicing anymore.
Do you feel bad for married men? Like, I'm bringing this up because I don't know if that was a true story. The silencer guy in Elgin, was that true?
100% true story. Yeah.
Like, I'll explain. Or you can explain basically what it's a guy now. He was married.
A friend of mine was married with 3 kids. He can't jerk off in his house, so he goes on the highway and jerks off. And they calls them silencers, because there's like a bag of fucking socks in his car. And he was like, that's a true. I mean, it's a combination of 2 of my friends, but the story is true. Like, they're telling me all the time, like, when are you gonna, give up? You had a good run, like, get married, because they're all fucking miserable. Though you need to do too. And then I remember, like, why do you have these weird socks in here? He's like, I don't wear those. I'm like, why are they here? And then he explained it to him. I'm like, oh my God. And there's so many intricacies of that I don't talk about on stage, but I did, but it's too long a joke. But like, I'm like, he would go to the store. Like, there's like premeditated decisions, like, what socks should I get to jerk off in? Like, these are like separate from your, when you're a kid, you jerk off in a sock. It's like, all right, what's the closest to the bed? Like, he went to a store, like, oh, this one seems soft, or, I'm going to get yellow this time. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a decision when you're buying socks for a sole purpose of jerking off in your car. Like, what factors come into play?
Have you jerked off in your car? You're oily.
I don't think I have.
Did you get to that level?
I don't think I have. I'm very weird about I can't jerk off in showers either. I'm just like, I need a bed and that's it. I like hump pillows still sometimes too.
Okay,
I'm like old school.
I'm a bathroom person, but I did it a few times in my car. One time I was away. I don't know why I was.
You jerked off at your office.
Oh yeah, that's not a car. Allegedly.
You make it sound like I'd be surprised.
Oh, that's in a bathroom.
I can't even see your hand right now. I don't know what you're doing right now.
I've jerked off at Jewel. Yeah. Like actually, now that I think about it, I've jerked off at Jewel. Right, not at in the bathroom at Jewel. You know what I mean? The door's locked.
Did you work there?
No.
You saw someone in like the beans aisle, and you're honestly, like, I gotta go take care of something.
I might have actually gone to that Jewel specifically, go in that bathroom and jerk off because I don't know because it's.
How old are you?
Maybe a few years ago. I'm 37 now, or 36.
Why would that matter? Like, why would you go to that Jewel?
I think it's like I knew I didn't get a chance to go home. I had such a busy day.
And you knew they had a bathroom?
Yeah, I already knew about the bathroom, I guess. And I knew it was private and nobody would bother you. And it's like, it was a good one. But I forgot. It wasn't like I was at Jewel and I was like, there was celery and I was like, I want to go jerk off.
Right.
I think it was premeditated.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
You went in there.
Tanning bed. I've jerked off in a tanning bed before while getting a tan. Oh my God!
I don't know. I've never even been in a tanning bed. So
oh really?
I didn't know you can do that.
Well, because I would.
Are there cameras in that place?
Not inside the.
Beds?
No,
okay.
I mean around out when you're in it, you're closed. They can't see in there. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So jerked off in tanning because I was like It was great because I was napping and I was like, man. And I was like, no, this, and maybe something it moved, and I was like, no, this isn't right.
Yeah,
let me just see how. I was like, it was so warm, and I was like, this kind of feels nice. You know what I mean?
Never done that.
It was a Jewel tanning bed, but the one in my car, it was kind of sad because it's like we were displaced from my home because we had a house, and then my dad, he has another family in Mexico. At that point, my parents kind of split up, so then we're going to a different place. But for like a month, we stayed at my aunt's house in North Chicago. And I was like, there's nowhere for me to jerk off. Like, it was those doors, and they didn't have a lock on the bathroom doors. It was just, the indoor ones. And I was like, man, what did I do? So I was like, one night, I was like, I'm going to go to my car real quick. So I went to the car, and it was outside. It was kind of cold, and I remember, like,
you were crying.
I masturbated in the car. This is like high school. This is like I'm a senior in high school, and I was just like, I masturbated in the car, and I don't know if I opened the door and tried to come outside or something. Like that was kind of you're finishing. That was kind of sad. And then, actually, I kind of jerked off in my car a little bit today on my lunch break. But
full circle.
Oh my God, I didn't. Well, full disclosure, I was at the supercharger, right? And then I might have been messaging with my girlfriend, and she said something about being horny. So I was like, let me just send her a quick video. Sure. And I was trying to start, but then I had to go back to lunch. So I was just going to send a video of me jerking off.
Right.
Like maybe on Snapchat or something. And
hey, man, whatever it takes.
I have tinted windows.
Yeah. I just don't. I think it's funny that my friend had to do that. So, and now you're doing it where you have like, well, it seems like you're very resourceful. At least it wasn't a.
But the other time
Aldi.
I was driving. No, not Aldi. No,
I said at least it wasn't an Aldi. Yeah. Jewel seems like a little higher class than Aldi.
Yeah. I don't even know if I've been to a bathroom in Aldi. Yeah. They have.
I've never been in an Aldi.
Oh wow, really?
No, man.
It's not even that bad, dude.
I saw.
Where do you shop? Whole Foods only, or what?
No, I don't go to grocery stores.
You just get things delivered.
I eat out all my meals. I live on a street where there's like I have Jimmy John's, Potbelly's, 2 burrito places, 3 pizza joints, and it costs more money to cook
What's
for
in your
one.
Fridge?
Nothing. Well, during quarantine, I did have to go grocery store, so I had to have stuff because everything was closing so early.
Yeah.
But no, because I travel a lot too, so it's like every time I get something, if I'm gone, it's all.
Do you have fruits or vegetables?
No, I have Diet Coke. I have creamer for my coffee. I have some alcohol. I have cheese, a lot of cheese sticks. I eat cheese and yogurt. I have that.
Oh, you got yogurt? Yeah, that's not bad. That's good for
that's it right now.
Your biome.
Yeah. I had ulcers, so I have to eat. But that's it. I have no food. During COVID, I did have to get I got pastas and I got like bread and turkey and shit. Yeah, I never have food. And when we record, Patty always goes to my fridge and takes a picture just to be like, this is so sad. So now I anytime I'm doing recording singles only, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get some food so it doesn't.
Is she in government now or no?
Yeah, she's working for Susan Mendoza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had she was my first crush, kind of like when I started researching comedy or trying to get into comedy. I remember I went to the Zanies and she was like the headliner, And I was like, who is this? And I watched
She's been
her
around
videos.
forever, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, I love her. But
Yeah, she's
but
great.
no, I love my girlfriend. Not all right. Now I feel fuck. I almost got in a fight, right? So you don't. This is the thing, like, that I'm not single now. What I noticed, and I don't know. It's like you don't get in fights. You're single, so you shouldn't get in fights with women, right? Because your relationship.
No, it gets to a point sometimes where it gets when you're not on the same page with someone. There's a communication breakdown. It gets kind of. I had a situation recently where I didn't know I was being
watched
rude. No, like I just didn't know that we weren't on the same page. Like we'd hooked up, and then I just started talking about another girl, and then
same thing,
and then it just made her. And I get it, but I thought we weren't on the same page because she had brought something up to test me about a guy texting her, and I was like, oh, he seems like a good guy, but we had just had sex, and she was probably like, why are you talking? I'm like, oh, that was a test. You're so dumb. I'm like, I didn't know we're in fucking college. I don't do well on tests, so.
Yeah, well, I think because I'm learning to be more honest and not lie, because I used to lie.
Yeah.
But there she should just be honest with you. I feel like that's maybe a little toxic on her side to do stuff like that. Like she shouldn't be doing that.
It was. I think it's a situation where, for me at least, because I feel like I'm honest. I think sometimes I get in trouble too because I don't realize if I'm bringing something up that it could be like a dig at the relationship or whatever the situation is between me and somebody. So I have been careful about that more recently. But like, I'll go out to I'll go to dinner with my ex-girlfriend sometimes, and those are always situations that get a little weird. But that's the best thing to do.
I went out this weekend, James. So me and Jessica, my girlfriend, went out this weekend. We didn't get in a fight.
Good.
This is the first time that we went out. We both been drinking. We didn't get any type of fight, but we were so close. We went to Club Icon, gay bar in Kenosha. Give it up to the gays.
Tight.
So we're at the we were so close on the way up there, because on the way up there, she's saying I had a few drinks in me, so I was kind of, I was listening to Young Dolph, and I get in these music, and certain music I get in these.
I remember the thong song, yeah.
Dong, 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 dong.
That shit gets you hard.
Oh, yeah.
You're already adjusting.
What's his name?
Your fanny pack just went up on your balls.
What's his name? Cisco.
Yeah.
He liked one of my comments. I commented on his thing on Instagram a few weeks ago.
Did you tell him about how you get hard when your song comes on?
No, but
I had to go to a Jewel one time. That's what probably did it.
The chicks were too skinny in the video, to be honest with you. I don't
even remember the video.
Thicker. I don't know if you have a preference, but I like thicker women, like thick.
I don't think I do.
No? Is it a Persian thing?
I don't did. There's the video come up. I think I typically date girls who are like blonde or redheads. I think it's the opposite. I've never dated a
You ever dated a Persian? I was gonna say.
Nah. I went on a couple dates with one recently, and then
we're both skinny.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's skinny? That's like average.
No, it's skinny to me.
What year is that, James? 2000?
2009.
2009.
Look at this.
How is that skinny? Too skinny?
Yeah. I think it's like normal. It's like Model S.
I like fat bitches.
Okay.
I like fat bitches.
Like, what's her name right now? Who's the big one right now that everyone loves?
Adele? No, she
Lizzo.
Lizzo.
I smash.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that's good. I mean, that's good that they're getting
the
their time right
whatever.
now.
But look, like, why the hell was I talking about the Dong song and Cisco?
You're talking about fighting with your girlfriend.
Oh yeah. We were over there.
The song came on, Dolph or whatever.
Young Dolph came on, and I'm like saying something, and I brought something else, brought something up about it. Like, I got to stop bringing up stuff about girls I used to sleep with. Yeah. And just stop. And then we're joking, and she's like, are you?
Even
really?
When they bring it up, you just let it go unless they ask a specific question.
Yeah.
But then in our defense, when that happens, I always say, don't ask me a question if you don't want to hear the answer. Because I'm a very rational human being. I don't have emotions. So it's like, I'm just like, if I hear a question, I'm going to answer.
Have you ever cried?
I cried recently, yeah.
Oh, why?
I was excited I want to cry. I just lost it during the pandemic a couple times, just like seeing everything go away that I'd worked for. So that like early on when South by Southwest got canceled, I was that was like my dream come true to perform there last year. And then my show with the Cubs, everything like that it was to me so awesome. And then all my shows started canceling. I was like, when is this going to end? I like lost it one night. But before that, the only time I've cried since like 1999 was at the Mr. Rogers documentary.
Me too. I cried. Were you flying? I was flying.
No, I was on a date with this girl, and then I look over. I'm like, well, I guess I'm never gonna call this girl again. It was like, that was. But then I was like, now when I watch it again, I still cry. That's my fucking. I love Mr. Rogers. I think he's like the greatest.
Did you
being.
see the doc, Mr. James?
I didn't get to watch it yet. No.
It's the greatest movie of all time.
Tom Hanks movie?
No,
No, fuck you.
That one's dumb.
Tom Hanks.
It's okay, but
is
the
a
real movie
pedophile.
is good. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Isn't he a pedophile? Isn't he buying a pizza?
No.
All right. Let's.
That those Q days are over. The documentary, I make people watch it because it's such a good. It restores faith in humanity, and he's a great. I have a tattoo of a Mr. Rogers quote. I think he's the greatest person. In the
You have a
world.
lot of. Is that your only tattoo? I
No,
didn't know
I've
you were
got
tatted
like
up.
5 or 6. Yeah.
Oh, I recently cried at a movie too.
What's that?
Tom and Jerry, right?
Oh, really?
Why the fuck?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious, but now I'm looking back. I can't even think of the scene and why the fuck I would cry.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Yeah, that's the movie.
Oh, that's yeah. So, I recently. This is the problem. I've been when I was flying, I would watch a movie and then I'd start crying. So I cried.
Then
Won't You Be
crying
My
leads to
Neighbor.
jerking off. You're like, now I got to jerk off on this Spirit Airlines bathroom.
I did jerk off one time on a plane. I forgot about this. Of course, right? Yeah, I was because it was like, man, like I just want to join. I guess some type of Mile High club. You know, I'm not gonna do it with a girl.
I got a
was
hand
young.
job in one from
Yeah.
a stranger.
Did you come?
No.
Oh, yeah.
But then I ended up having sex with her in Vegas.
Oh, nice. What you guys were just sitting there? and
So this is the great. I wish I could make this into a story, but I get canceled. So, we were going to fly to my friend's bachelor party. I was in charge of it. It was one of many weddings where I was the best man. Our flight got delayed. Everyone was already there. So my friend and I, he had United, whatever, where you can go drink in the thing.
the little yeah.
And our flight was delayed. We got wasted with, and then we met 2 girls there, and then we get on the plane. We're not sitting together, and I'm sitting between the 2 hot girls that were just, and then I just hit it off with them. This is before I was a comedian. I was just like on fire when I was drinking. I was like funny, and then I'm in between them, and that one girl like just. I put a blanket on top of me and she just starts giving me a hand job. And then the friend was like kind of like rubbing my leg, but nothing. And then my friend was in the seat in front of us. He was like looking over. He's like, hey, that can be like a 4-man. And then I'm like, nah, man, there's only 3 in this room. But then he got me back because then we're in the hotel. And then those girls came back. And the other girl wasn't interested. I think she was married or something like that. And the girl that I was hooking up with, we were messing around, but we weren't gonna have sex. And then finally, after we had done all this shit, she decides that we're gonna have sex. Well, I was already, you know, when your brain's already like
Giving up.
yeah, you're gonna have to figure out a different way to come. And my friend was in the bed next to us, and then as soon as I put on a condom and put it in, I like came right away. And then she was just like, what? I go, oh. And then you can hear my friend laughing. He's like, like he was listening the whole time. And I was like, motherfucker. And then this poor girl had to like wait for the recovery. And we were drinking, so there was no recovery time. And this is when I was like 30. Then our other friend comes in, brings a girl, and they're having sex in every room in our hotel. There's 3 of us staying. We're all staying there. And this poor girl had to like hear the other girl have like the time of her life. And well, she just got totally screwed by some idiot. And yeah, that's it. And then I remember I tried to reach out to her again when we got back to Chicago, and she ghosted me.
No, yeah, it's like you after that with those. I feel like you have those performances. It's like you gotta just
so
let them
bad.
go. I hate those, man. I had one where look. I don't know. Do you smoke marijuana at all?
No,
I don't.
I
right?
used to, but I don't.
I don't. And I remember I was way too high, and I remember I got dropped off. Maybe my friend's mom. We went there. Actually, he bailed on me, and
Okay.
his mom picked him up. And I'm there at this girl's house, and I remember I was kind of too high, and there was a few times where I was too high. I get scared, right? And I'm like,
I get paranoid. Yeah, I don't do it anymore.
I was scared, and I remember just like trying to have sex with her, and I'd semi-boner. I don't even was full away, but it was just like as I was going, I was like, this is so like, man, this this poor girl. Like this is
She's having the worst time.
this is like this is so bad. And I remember, and then finally, I think the mom came and picked me up afterwards.
Yeah.
My friend's mom came and picked me up when I was done, and then I remember I like would message her after, like, hey, you want to hang out? And there's nothing back, and I was like, oh, it was more like I'd always wanted to get it back and be like, look, no, I could do better. I could do better.
Yeah,
man. I
yeah.
could do
That's
better.
always the thing. I always I want to have good Yelp reviews. That's the thing that I care about. But
Yeah.
like back then, I remember that situation, and I was like so bummed because I was so I couldn't get a second wind, and it was, and the thing was, and it kind of was like, well, it's her fault too, because if she wanted to have sex, she should have told me. And I wouldn't have we would have done all this other stuff, or I would have mentally prepared. But you know, when you're like, I mean, it was like a good half hour, and then she's like, "Are your friends awake?" I'm like, "No, they're not awake." And then of course, right when I came, he just starts cracking. You could hear him go, like holding it in. I'm like, he heard the whole thing. And then everyone the next day at breakfast, he was telling them details of the shit I said, and I said stupid shit.
Like what'd you say?
I was in a band at the time, and I was probably saying yeah, we opened for whatever, which is completely true, but a lie. I was like, yeah, I opened for whoever was huge at the time.
Cheap
but
Trick.
it was, yeah, but we were the first band on a festival. There was 5 other bands between us, but I was like, oh yeah, I forgot who it was. I think it was man, I don't remember what band. I mean, we did open for a bunch of people, but oh God, the COVID brain is real, dude. It's really they saying I need you around.
I don't know who these bands are. No, when I when I got
That's
COVID in
gonna
July.
bother me. Smoking Popes.
Mhm.
Yeah, we opened for them. She liked them, and I was like, yeah, we opened for them, which is true. But it was whatever Wheaton Festival of Corn, and then we were the opener.
You have things you regret the most saying to a girl to try to get laid? Was this one of them? I remember.
I wasn't saying it to get laid. I was just trying to get this was back when we were hanging out with them in the plane and stuff. Because I remember my friend they were all very well off, and I was a musician / part-time lawyer or something. So that was my only in. I was the one that was different than all these guys. My friend who was getting married was a millionaire at 30. He was what do you call it? He managed stocks and portfolios and shit. So I was I play guitar. And my band fucking Wednesdays were at Duffy's. It's $1 wine night. And I mean, what else am I going to do? I had to lean into what I could to get attention. And it was funny.
I told a girl I loved her once.
I've never said that.
No, I didn't. I mean, I was trying to get laid. But you feel shitty. Well, I remember one time I was in Miami. I told a girl, I was like, I've never felt this way about anybody. But she could tell that I was full of shit, right?
Oh, yeah. I've never done shit.
I've never felt like this before anybody.
That's gaslighting, bro.
Yeah, it was gas. I was gassing her up with lights, with my flashlight. But it was.
I never lied. I never did stuff like that. And I
so
against that
desperate.
because I feel like it's stupid. It's look,
Oh, yeah.
they know if they girls know if they want to hook up with
Yeah.
you right away. And it's the same with guys, with women. It's just you just play your cards right. Something's going to happen. But it's fun now for me because sometimes I'll go on these dates from the apps and stuff. And I know right away, I'm like, all right, well, we're not going to hook up, but I'm still going to have a good time. I'm not going to hook up with you, but I'm going to try to have fun. It's fun to be on the other side of stuff where they're trying to have sex with you. And you're like, oh no, that's not going to happen tonight. But let's get dessert.
Yeah.
I'm just going to eat this all so I don't make bad decisions. So it's fun to be here people give us compliments that I know they're full of shit. They're oh, you really have nice eyes. No, I don't. You're just it's been.
Well, you have nice Persian
COVID.
eyes. What do you mean?
It's COVID. You're just horny right now.
No, well, I remember one time I was with this girl. She was really drunk, but I could tell she was putting it on hard on me. I mean, we did sleep together, but not that time. She fell, I think, on her head that time, and then it's right before. And then I made out with this. What do you call maids? So that night, right? So she's a maid. Yeah, this Honduran maid. Who actually the reference from ICE just called me a few days ago to check up on her. She should have an ankle bracelet. But look, anyways, so I was there, right? And the girl, and this girl I used to I had a thing for. She was very attractive. All right, I won't say that, but she was very attractive. And then, but she was I could tell she was putting it on. She was talking about her job. And it's oh, I just got this promotion or whatever. And it was really turning me off. It's oh, she was trying really hard. And yeah. And it was man, this is, and it felt this is weird being on this side. And I was oh, I wish she would just kind of lay off and chill out. Like, I know I've done it where you talk too much and
you fuck yourself over.
Yeah, you talk yourself out of it, right? And she was doing it, right? But I was like, you know.
It's a skill set that as you get older, you're just like, sometimes just shut up. You don't, things are going to happen, it's going to happen, but you can ruin yourself by saying stupid shit.
But then she fell on her head. And then she was kind of like coming up to me and try to like get close to me.
She had a concussion.
And then she was like, oh, and I could tell like, oh, this chick's possibly concussed. And I was like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So then,
good decision.
Yeah, I was pretty drunk.
I mean, you make sure she's okay.
Oh no, she's fine. Yeah. She has a boyfriend now.
No, I mean that she didn't pass out from the concussion.
Oh no, she was there with friends and things like that. So she was like, so I left, and then I was kind of buzzed, and I was kind of like, because I thought I was gonna have sex. And I was still kind of horny.
You're like, oh, where's a jewel? Where's the nearest fucking jewel? I need to jerk off.
Oh, yeah. That jewel had some weird stuff about Obama once. It's the one in Waukegan. Anyways, it's pretty racist. Probably the hard R or something. Obama is that. Maybe. Or something aggressive. That Waukegan one can get. Waukegan places can get really aggressive. But anyways, I left and I went to my friend's house because I had to go pack because we were leaving to Honduras the next day. And the older lady who came from Honduras, who was kind of like the maid-ish sort of back in the home because she was there.
How old were you?
Very hairy. This is like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Very hairy, right? And then like didn't shave her legs. And I was like, I was in a room and I was like, I won't say her name. Let's think of a name. We'll call her Consuela, right?
Okay.
There we go. And I was like, what's up, Consuela? And she was like, oh, and I started making out with her. And I was like, well, that's, blah, blah. She's like, no, my daughter's here. And I was like, so now she has kind of a mustache too, so now it gets thrown in my face. Like my friends like, oh, you made out with Consuela. Like she's not,
attractive.
Attraction is, I guess, subjective.
A citizen.
Huh? Oh, she's neither. Oh, yeah, no. Like she has hairy legs, a mustache, and she had a fat butt though. But it was.
You like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, it like immediately I get teased for it and made up for it afterwards. But I did end up eventually having sex with the other chick, but in a closet on a hardwood floor. And it wasn't the same.
It's not the same as a joke.
No. Oh, and then I slept with her again. Okay, but that wasn't too bad, and I felt like I was okay, but I finally did.
There was a lot of when I was younger. I hooked up with a lot of physically attractive women, but I was also.
It's less strings, I feel.
I didn't lose my virginity until I was like 18 or 19, and I say either because there's a story where I can't figure out if that counts if I lost it at 18. You do? Well, I had sex, but I was so drunk and I didn't she's like, get a condom. When I did it, I don't even know if I got in right. Like it was like, it didn't last because I couldn't keep it up and stuff. So it was like a weird situation. But then like 3 months later, I turned 19 and I definitely lost it then to my then girlfriend. But the first girl, it was like, she was older than me by a couple of years. And I just I didn't know what I was doing. I was 18. I was a freshman in high school, or a freshman in college. So, but then I didn't have sex again other than with my girlfriend for 2 years in college. So anytime I remember one girl I took home, and we were both drunk, and I knew her from high school. She went to my friend's high school, and I kind of knew her, but I didn't remember her. I just remember she had red hair. I was like, oh, this is gonna be hot. Well,
usually thicker.
I didn't remember that way, but the next day I was in a fraternity. Everyone was like, dude, did you hook up with that girl? I'm like, yeah. I'll brag and do you know what she looks like? I'm like, yeah. And then they showed, and I didn't remember that she was a lot bigger than I remember, and not only bigger, just not attractive. And I was like, but that was the only sex I had.
I kind of slept with a dude once on accident. But anyways,
she wasn't a dude. But I mean, it was definitely and it was funny because then the word got around because I was bragging about it in a way, because you're 20 years, it was 19 or 20, and then I was like, oh, now you look back, you're like, oh God, we're such idiots. So dumb in high school and college. Or college, that was college.
What does the future hold for Farahvar? All right, this is
no idea.
All right, before plugging anything,
I
want to see. You don't want kids. You just want to comedy.
Comedy's my focus right now. Thing. Yeah, I quit my law firm March of 2020. Great idea. And I closed my physical office, and then I had a bunch of stuff planned. Things are starting to come back. Waiting to see what happens with some pitches in network for shows I pitched. although everything's on hold in Burbank, in California right now. So in the meantime, I'm just touring. I'm just trying anywhere they'll have me. I'm trying to do shows. And I'll be in Chicago too, looking for shows here too.
Okay.
I'll do all your shows, all your podcasts.
Oh, hey, hit a Paul. He's gonna do all your show. Get the what did you call it? The Paul bump, right?
The Paul bump.
Yeah, right.
We said, if people came on our show, they got a lot of Instagram followers for a while.
The Paul bump.
I don't know if it still exists.
Do you have any plugs?
What's that?
Do you got any plugs, Paul?
No, that's my real hair. I'm just kidding. Paul F. Comedy is my website. I've got a bunch of shows coming up in Florida, and then back in Chicago
next month.
Yeah. Oh, I'm producing a bunch of shows at like music venues right now that are they're struggling because they can't do touring shows. So G-Man Tavern, we're gonna do a monthly show there. Afterlife Music in Lombard, we're gonna do shows there. We just did. I opened for Sam Tripoli Saturday, which was sold out.
Armenian.
Is he?
Another oily one.
I didn't
Pretty
know.
sure he's Armenian. He's Armenian.
He's out there. He's fun. But just doing shows. I'll be at Laugh Factory too, and that's it. I don't think I have anything else in Chicago for a while.
Plugs. James, you want to plug yourself?
When does this come out?
And Instagram too.
I'll tell you.
What's your IG, Paul?
At Paul Farahvar.
Gotcha. Common spelling?
Common spelling.
No, it's
Farahvar.
It's 412.
412. By then, I almost feel bad plugging this, but I have to. The director's cut version of South by Southwest 2020 will be on People of Comedy. If you want to watch that, I will have that uploaded by then. And then, just if you want to start a podcast in a studio that Joe Rogan would be jealous of, DM me at People of Comedy Network on IG, or DM me at facebook.com/People of Comedy. If you can find my personal stuff, I have a link tree, lanktr.ee/aclysm, ACLYSM. I'm also on Instagram at instagram.com.
/what?
Aclysm. It's Ataclysm.
How do you spell common spelling?
Common spelling, ACLYSM. So Ataclysm on Instagram, Ataclysm on Linktree. I'm making NFTs. I'll have a couple of NFTs on OpenSea.io.
I just learned what those were.
So if you wanna buy some shit that's not real and totally get scammed by me, go ahead and buy some of my art on OpenSea.io. Get a MetaMask account and give me some Ethereum.
Bitcoin, brother.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
All right. Follow the Lobo Podcast on IG. Join the Patreon. Gonna record more exclusive episodes. Might start our OnlyFans. Did a test shooting. I liked my hair in it. It was pretty cool, so I don't know, maybe I'll wear a mask or something. I had the tattoos, get my fuck on. I think, in the last 24 hours, I had period sex and killed my girlfriend 4 times. She's on birth control. Okay, Lobo then.